Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Got questions about your life? Where it's going? What's happening in your life? Why things aren't showing up? Why they are showing up? All of that. We've got answers, potentially, from somebody who can read your spirit level and the energy around you. I'm always intrigued. I always get excited when we talk with somebody like her. And lots to talk about here, for sure. Raven Phoenix joins us on the program. How you doing today?
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful to talk with you. Now, I have to ask the obvious question. Now, we talk about spirit messages. Spiritual readings is what you do. Does that mean that you're connecting with somebody's connection, relative, friend on the other side, or are you just reading their energy?
Well, I do a little bit of all of it. How I do my readings is I work with a real guardian, real angels, real spirits. I give readings with no information from the client. Guardian steps in, tells the person what's going on with them, maybe where their spiritual growth has stopped, what problems are going on, how to fix it, how to create a better life. Sometimes the angels will come in and they'll give advice as well. And if there's a spirit waiting to speak, we do that. And then after the reading, I let them tell me where it all fits in. And 97% of the time, the guardians and angels has already told them the reason why they wanted the reading. They've already answered the questions.
So where are you pulling it potentially from? Is it their spirit guide? Do you have spirit guides that direct you?
Yes, I have my own spirit guide, and sometimes their spirit guide will come in as well. Some identify themselves, some don't. There's a lot of spirits that don't like the term dead, because they say we are not dead. And then everybody, we do it as a team. I work with other beings as well. And everybody comes in to help the person understand what's going on in their life and help them create a better life. We're having really good feedback. I have clients bring the angels into their life every minute of every day to work with them, and they call upon them one time. I've had clients telling me they've seen angels. I had a lady that was deterred from turning down a road. She didn't know why. She heard the voice, and then the next day or something, she's seen on the news there was a shooting around the time she was going to turn down that road. So we are getting very good results with what we do. I do my readings differently than anybody else. I don't know why you want a reading. We go into it, and everybody gets their answers. It is the way I'm born.
So I want to go into that. Your background. How did you realize that you had a way to connect? When did you have that first kind of aha moment?
Well, when I was a kid, I seen spirits, but I thought they were people, and I used to play with them. Didn't know they were spirits. And as I got older, I realized from my mom that they wasn't people, that they were spirits. I was like 6 or 7 years old, and I walked in my bedroom. This lady's standing there. She says, "I am your grandmother. Go tell your mother your sister has a lump in her head." I ran in there and told Mom. I go, "Vicky's got to go to the hospital. She's sick." And Mom goes, "What does this lady look like?" And I told her, "She is, that's your grandmother. She passed away 6 months before you were born." I go, "Well, Vicky's sick. She got to go." And that's when Mama realized I was gifted, and then all you-know-what broke loose for the rest of my life with Mom, because she was not a very good person. When I was like 6 or 7, I realized that I was different.
Did it scare you?
No, never.
Really?
It was just normal to me. I mean, you know, my teachers and everything when I was growing up in kindergarten and first, second grade, they had their hands full because I was just telling everybody everything. They kept going, "You can't say this, you can't do this, you can't do this." It was just never scary to me.
It seems like it was just a way of life for you.
Yeah, it still is.
Wow. That would scare me.
Really?
Yeah, I guess if it started younger, it was your life. So it didn't seem like it was out of the ordinary. It seemed like it was, weird, if you will, for other people, I guess, right?
But it used to, when I was growing up, break my heart when I would tell somebody something. Grown-ups would run from me. And then I started realizing you just can't tell people stuff. So then I had to keep it to myself, and that's hard on your spirit because this person's got to know this,
Right. Yep. You know what? I want to just throw in here that I'm an open book, very transparent. If you ever get anything on me, don't hold back. It's quite all right. I will validate as needed. So I just wanted to throw that out there. If anything comes your way, that's it.
Okay. Well, I was thinking about what was going to happen today. But I was thinking about, some readings are very personal, and I don't know if people want that on the air.
Again, I'm an open book. I share everything.
Okay, great.
I really do. Yeah, I'm honest. So if you said something...
Let's test this, okay?
Sure.
Guardian, is there anything you have to say for this gentleman on the phone? Guardian is saying that he is a very powerful, creative being, but that sometimes locks himself away in solitude because the world around him drains his energy. He has no idea why he craves solitude at times. The thing is you are gifted yourself and you are talented, and the world takes a toll on you. She is saying that you like to pretend that you are all out there, but you're a very private person inside. You only let so much information out. And she is saying that when you come against challenges, you do not shrek away. You are more like, let's do this. You like challenges. How is she doing?
I would have to say, and I'm not going to say this just because we're here, spot on. So... And I will dissect.
Thank you, Guardian.
I'll go through. Thank you, Guardian. I will dissect through that and tell you that now more than ever, I crave the solitude because there's not enough of it. And I realized recently that I'm an empath. It was proven during a test. And I'm normally the one that calls everybody else out on it. Now I realize, whoa, you are. So, yeah. People take my energy. I got to be careful with it. I'm transparent for people like you. Mm-hmm. If you brought something up in a reading, I'll tell you, straight up. When it's another situation, it's more of I'll share what I need to share. If I don't need to, I don't need to. But when it comes from what you're doing, I'm fully open. I really am. It's kind of weird because I feel there's a reason that things are exposed if they are through. Like a guardian or a spirit. So got to tell you, and nobody else would know the solitude thing. It's a big thing for me. I don't do it enough. It's a big thing. So, yeah.
Guardian is also saying you don't sleep well. You don't sleep but a few hours. She's saying because you are holding on to energy that you have absorbed all day long with people talking. She's saying you need to surround yourself with gold light. You need to ask your angels to take the cords that you have created, talking to people, being with people away, and you will sleep better.
You're saying cut cords?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, which I'm aware of and I don't do. So thank you for that reminder.
Okay.
And so the Guardian, what do you experience, Raven? What are you feeling? Are you hearing it? Are you getting it? How are you getting the download from this Guardian? And who do you think the Guardian is?
Well, I hear just like I'm hearing you on the phone. And only last week she revealed herself to me. In almost 30 years, I've never seen what she looks like. I seen last week what she looks like. The first time I heard her was 26 years ago, where some bad things happened to me. People put contracts on my life. I was in a park trying to figure out what I was going to do. And I heard her voice. And I'm looking around the park. I'm the only one there. And I'm like, okay. And my child was with me. And I go, do you hear that? No, Mom, I don't hear nothing. This first thing she said after she got my attention and I realized what's going on, she said, I'm sent by God. Help is coming. It will be here in 2 days. Take it. Then she spent 3 hours telling me how my life was going to be. Within a day and a half, help came from a source I didn't really know. They just heard through the grapevine there was a contract on me. And they took me out of Florida for years. And then a year later, only one person knew where I was. And they called me and told me the 2 men who took the contracts both died of heart attacks. I was safe to come back to Jacksonville. But I stayed away for more years. But that was the first time I come in contact with Guardian, was under an emergency status. And we have been working for people for many years. I used to hide because I was scared of people, and I would do it in private. I've only gone public about 5 or 6 years ago.
So you kept this in all this time?
Yes, sir.
How come?
Because I was scared of people. People had already tried to harm me.
And harm you because why?
Well, my mother had it done because she wanted my child, and she couldn't get him, so she was trying to get somebody to kill me. And then a family friend I went to high school with, he was trying to get into an MC outlaw gang here in Jacksonville. He knew I wanted to be a police officer in high school, so I was in the Police Explorers. And you graduate from Police Explorers into the police department. You start at a young age. And then he tried to go to them and tell them I was telling their business, all this stuff. They knew me and knew I didn't know any business, nothing like that. And so that's how I got my heads up. People were calling me going, these two are putting contracts on you. So he was trying to use me to get in, and Mom was trying to have me killed to get my child.
That's just crazy.
I know. My whole life was crazy.
So things are better now?
Oh, yeah. Everything's great.
Wow. Are the Guardians, do you see an image of who they are? Is it always the same one?
Well, what I have noticed, my Guardian has told me through times when I evolved and my level gets a little bit higher, a new Guardian steps forward, teaches me what I need to know, but my original Guardian always stays, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And is it a feeling of comfort that you know that they got your back, so to speak, they're always around you?
It is, because they literally snatched me out of the jaws of evil. So I know they protect me.
Wow. What have you gotten? You personally, receiving any kind of messages that impacted you?
When I was a young girl, I was engaged to a guy, and I seen his death when I was hugging him. And I figured, well, if I can see it, I can stop it. I was like 16, 17 years old. And then when he died, and I told him he was going to die, he didn't believe me. And then I had told God I would never do anything for him again. And so I had many years of silence until the contracts came on me. And then that's when I heard Guardian and God. And then I spoke with Gabriel. And yes, they're real. And Gabriel had spent 3 hours with me as well, explaining to me everything that's happened in my life was basically stepping up to what I am. And they explained to me that when I told them I would never do anything for them again, they explained to me I'm supposed to see things and know things, but I'm not supposed to reveal it to the people. It's to get me ready for the impact of the embrace. So I was like, okay, and then she kind of played mediator between me and God, and then I forgave God, and I went back to doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
What is the most unusual thing that has come through for you, or for somebody else?
Well, it's hard to pick because I see beings, I work with beings. The most unusual thing is, I'm sure y'all have heard of demon spirits.
Of what spirits?
Demon spirits. They're in mythology and they're in the Bible. But I myself don't go that direction, so I didn't know what a demon spirit was. I had a person who was threatening me to kill me with witchcraft. He would have liked to try to harm me. And I lit a candle and I asked, I said, if there's anybody out there that can help me. And I went to bed. I woke up to a 9-foot black cloaked man standing in the room. And the person that was doing this to me, the next day and for the next 3 weeks, they had horrible things happen to them, like boils on the skin, arms getting stuck in the motor of a boat, just all kind of things. And this being got rid of this person. And then they have been in my life for the last 7 years. And they give wisdom to men only.
Say that last part again.
They give wisdom to men. They're like from the 16th century. And they are of honor and wisdom. And they teach men not to sit at their table with liars and thieves, how men should keep their own counsel. They do really good work.
Well, why only men?
They're from the 16th century. They believe women have their place and men have their place.
Gotcha. Okay.
And they are upside down with the way our society is now.
Got it. Totally see it. We're talking about a whole different way of life, different time. So yes. Are you able to connect with people on the other side?
Yes.
Okay. And is it fairly regularly that you can do that? Let's say, you're talking with a client. Do they ask you, hey, can you bring through my dad or my, grandfather or anything like that? Or it just kind of happens?
It just kind of happens because when I was younger, I used to call upon them. And when they don't want to talk, they can get very, very cranky. So I always, at the beginning of the reading, I call in the client's guardians, my guardians, the angels, and any spirits who would like to give a message to the client. And that works much better than bugging them and trying to pull them in, because if they don't want to get pulled in, they're not going to say none, or they're going to come through mad as you know what. Mm-hmm.
Are you getting anything on any of my relatives? Or should I ask you?
Guardian just said you have the information you need to work on at this moment.
I do, because my mom comes through all the time. Mm-hmm. And whenever I need an answer or some reassurance, I ask. And I'm a firm believer, based on my experience there, that if you want an answer, just ask. It's okay. Just ask.
Okay, when you said your mom, did your mom have light hair with glasses?
No, that would be...
She's shoulder-length hair, and she's kind of thin?
Well, it depends on how you look at it, because her, she had gray hair for a long time, and that kind of her style. So it was lighter, if you want to look at it that way.
Okay.
And
did she wear glasses?
At times, yes, and she was thin.
She was what?
She was thin, like you said.
Okay, so I just got a picture. Sometimes I'll get a photo picture, and I have to wait, and it'll start moving and talking, and then sometimes they'll come full form, sometimes it'll just be the picture. Sometimes spirits, it's like I had a reading. I quit doing murders, and because those are too scary for me. And sometimes murders will come in through a reading, and then, it just happens. And sometimes I scare people because I have the ability to remote view. And I'll come in their house, tell them what pictures are on the wall, what the furniture looks like. Some love it. Some get scared and run away. I don't mean to do it. It just happens.
Did I hear you say mothers come in?
No. When spirits come in, and sometimes they show me things and lead me, And then I'll end up sometimes in the house of the client, remote view, and something that scares people sometimes. But sometimes spirits do lead you and show you things. And, they just pop up a lot.
I am intrigued how you operate here. It's very interesting. And it's not the first time. I've heard it many times that people with your ability have guardians, have spirit guides that help them along.
Yes. My guardian is, 6.5 years ago, Guardian had me writing pages and pages of what she wanted mankind to know. She predicted everything back then that's happening now in our country. And then she broke it all down. I was doing videos and everything, and the platforms were coming after me. They were making me take videos down. They were stopping my work because I guess they didn't want people to know what was coming. And then when everything started unfolding, like Facebook will leave me alone, YouTube will leave me alone now. But Facebook is holding back my my growing because I got over 500 something people on Spirit Messages Raven Facebook, and they're only sending 2 notifications to people on that list of 500 when I post. So they're still trying to hold my work back. And Guardian is teaching people how to protect their spirit, trying to bring their conscious level up to what kind of evil is here, what can be done, what can't be done. She's trying to get people to understand that mankind is a multidimensional being. And she's trying to get people to understand when we come into this world, it is already set. You act like this, you believe this, you do that. Okay? Mankind is an amazing, powerful being that all these rules are holding mankind's spirit back from evolving. And she's trying to teach man how to use their spirit, how to bring their power up. As we're not supposed to be hating each other. We're not supposed to be against each other. No matter where you come from or what your nationality is, we're a family. And Guardian is trying to get people to put their weapons down, trying to get them to come together, because the reason why we have different races is because the races come from different levels in which you're not going to hear this stuff on Google from other people. And everybody comes here in order to create a better world, and everybody comes here to share the wisdom that they're born with. And this is what the leaders of our world doesn't want us to know. They don't want you to know how much power you have as a being, and they want to control everybody. Mankind was not meant to be controlled. Mankind was not meant to answer to nobody. Nobody's supposed to be over the other one. Everybody's supposed to keep their own counsel, work with their own spirit and their own wisdom that they're born with. And these are things you're not going to hear anywhere else.
How does somebody find you? If they want to get a reading, if they want to get some insight, how do they find you, Raven?
I'm based in Jacksonville, Florida. My number is 904-801-7994. And I have Spirit Messages Raven Phoenix on Facebook, Spirit Messages Raven Phoenix on Google Maps. We have right now 73 5-star readings with glowing reviews on how we've helped people. And I have Spirit Message Raven Phoenix Uni. So there's a lot of ways you can get a hold of me.
I love what you do and how you connect with people, and I've experienced it. Even just like a quick, reading that you gave me, you said something that is key in my life. Others may think hey, maybe that's generic. No, the solitude thing, you have no idea. It's so much on my radar at this point. So your guardian somehow, some way, pulled that out.
That's what Guardian does.
Yeah, I see that. Phoenix, there's a reason you chose that name, I would assume.
Yes, in my early 20s, I was friends with a shaman. He's passed away now. And he was teaching me his ways because he knew what I was before I did, basically, the full power of it. And he called me Raven because ravens are messengers of God. And Phoenix is because I kept rebuilding my life when my life would burn down. I would rise from the ashes. So I've always kept that name.
Kind of had a feeling that was going to be the answer on the Phoenix, honestly. It makes perfect sense. Raven, great talking with you today. Thank you for all the insight. And yeah, looking forward if we get a chance to talk again.
Okay. Looking forward to it.
Yep. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thank you. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Of course my kid's in the right car seat. Well, I think he is.
Yeah, my kid's in a booster seat. He was ready to move up. He is ready, right?
Her car seat looks like the right size.
There are probably rules on when to move up to a booster seat, aren't there?
Rear facing, forward facing. I think I have it right.
Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? Don't think you know you know. Go to safercar.gov/the right seat.
I know my child's in the right car seat, or else I wouldn't get in the driver's seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.